All right, it's game day. We are playing the 25,500 SHRPO high roller. This is number 4 of the big 4, and we did final table this 25K at the Hard Rock in April this year. We ended up getting, I believe, we got 9th place at the final table, or no, 8th. I think we got 8th, but it was for 20 or 75,000-ish, and it was a 25K buy-in. Pretty disappointing. It was 785K to first. Jason Murphy ended up winning. He knocked us out 10s to jacks. We were 5 of 9 at the final table. Got 9th. Bonomo had 4. Justin Bonomo had 4 big blinds coming in short stack, and he got 2nd for like 585. So that was a little disappointing. Yeah, we're gonna get in there, feeling good, very rested, ready to rock, feeling good. We are gonna go down right now. Alright, so we have 490K. We did knock out David Peters, or we crippled David Peters with a huge hand. We got in queens to ace king blind on blind when the button raised. We 3-bet, he 4-bet jam. Didn't love it. Think he's gonna have ace king a lot there. We call, and it came king high, king 4 deuce, spade spade. We had queens, queen of spades, turn, boom, queen. Huge equity pot. It was a lot, and doubled up. So Doug Polk we also knocked out, but he was super short. He had like less than big blind. So yeah, so here we go. We're on our way. So we're in a pretty good spot right now. We have 740,000. Blinds are going to be 612 when we come back. 32 remain. Average is 365. So you know we have got a nice stack here, like 60 bigs. A couple pivotal hands. One, we made a set of 7s on a 7-6 Jack 2 club board. We flatted out of the small blind when Mike Leah raised the cutoff, and we checked, he bet, we called. The turn was a queen of clubs. We checked, he bet, or I'm sorry, we checked, he checked, and the river was a queen, so we filled up. And we bet, and he called, and he said he had ace jack, but we won that pot. Let's go Flow Nation. Stay strong with us here. We are at the Hard Rock in South Florida. It is in Hollywood, Seminole Hard Rock, and this is the SHRPO 25,500 buy-in high roller. 32 left from 117, biggest they've ever had here. Turnout for the high roller, and let's finish this. We also have got at the Alpha 8 here. We have finished 3rd in the 100K first ever Alpha 8 buy-in. So we're comfortable playing here, and yeah, I'm feeling good. So it's a big 2 hours here. We should probably get close to the money after these 2 hours, at least down to 20-ish or so, I think, how it's playing. And let's have a big 2 hours. Let's get locked in. Team Flow, Flow Nation, let's do this. All right, we're on break. We have 370 left. There's 23, 3-table redraw of 24. So we lost 2 players that hand. Just lost kings in the small blind to Marvin Rettmeyer's ace queen. Wasn't all in pre, but paid it off, and it was ace high. I limped, he raised. We just called and ace high, and then he got 2 streets, but could have been worse, I guess. Could have got it in pre, but we were, I don't know, very, very frustrating hand. He actually made ace queen for top 2, so he got to easily value bet it, but see what happens. All right, we're down to 18, and it's super slow play. It's basically hand for hand. There's like 5 or 6 shorter than us. We're down to like 260 at 1020, so 13 bigs, but there's a couple guys with like 60K, 80K, 90K, so we're basically in fold mode. I mean, we're only getting in with the super premiums. Man, it's a familiar spot in April. Down to 18. Let's get this. Come on. Short stack just doubled to the right. 17 left. We are now hand for hand, and there's guys with like 2 blinds, so sitting all right now. Sitting all right. We got like still 12. Mike Leah, Sam Pansica, Marvin Rettmeyer, Tom Marchese, Chance Cornett, that's our table. And then we have Kathy Laney, a good friend of ours from Houston, still in there. Brandon Adams, Joseph Chiang, Big Hooney, Rainer Kempe, and who else in there? So that's what I'm seeing. Maybe a few others I don't see, but yeah, pretty tough. And our table is sick. Right. So, all right, we have the button. The button when we come back, one away from the money. Like 4 guys, 3 or 4 shorter than us, but unfortunately I'm pretty short now. Break time, let's go. All right, we just hit the money, and 16 left. We're short now, but let's see what happens. All right, so we knocked out a short stack. We called the jack 5 in the big blind. He shoved 63K at 12.24, and we had 24 in there, so it's like one more blind and a half. He had ace 3 off, and we ran down a straight. It was queen 9-9, turn 10, river king. So we went open end and hit the straight, and then we just shoved ace jack, got it through, and we're over 10 bigs all of a sudden. 12 left. There was a double knockout. Joseph Chiang knocks out 2 players. Rainer Kempe with 6s, Marvin and mine with 10s, and here we are at 12 left. Let's do this. All right, well, we just got 12th place, so we shoved blind on blind, queen 8 off. Our man Brandon Adams called 8 ace queen suited. Fuck, we were so patient, we chipped up a bit, and then we end up losing at the end there. Fucking sick. 12th place, I don't know, it pays around, I didn't even look at it. I know it's like 3K jumps for a while, so bummer. 67 to 70K in that range. We're gonna take a look. We've been doing prime mine every day. We've been working on our coaching, raise your edge. You know, we've also done a bunch of studying of charts and some good stuff for Upswing Lab as well, using some of their stuff. So, you know, it's not like, oh, I'm just with one thing. I'm not just with doing one thing. I'm doing a lot of different things to work on my game. It's not like, oh, I'm getting a deal and representing someone doing this. Like, look, there's a lot of tools. You know, I use maxsilversnapshove.com. That's also, that's something you can really work on your, it's a super cool tool. You can work on your game. We have the, I mean, there's so many different things we use, so many tools, and we'll list that in the more links. You can see that in the YouTube videos, because I'm going to put these out. I want you guys to get better. I'm getting better. I'm learning stuff every day. There were 6 spots today. I had a couple hands where I honestly was like close on the bubble. You know, do you shove with this hand when the guy's got 3 and 4 blinds or 2 off the money, 55K pay jump? What hands are you going with? These are stuff that you need to know and you can work on. So we'll talk about a few more hands, a few more things, and we will we'll go from there. We got some more to talk about. Let's get paid out and then we'll come back. So pretty happy with the result, and we're doing the commentary tomorrow. I'm going to introduce you guys to someone you may or may not know. If you're on Instagram, you love poker, you probably do. Adnan Mohammed, welcome into the Flow Show. And
thank you, guys.
Yeah, how's it? Give us a little bit about yourself, man. Tell us who you are, where they can follow you, and what you're doing down here and what you got coming up.
Hey guys, my name is Adnan Mohammed. You guys might know me as NYPokerKing. I have a huge following on Instagram. What I usually do is I usually document my poker lifestyle and my poker journey. I started playing poker about 3.5 years ago. I picked it up through my ex-girlfriend, and it's a game that I just fell in love with. And
ex-girlfriend?
Yeah.
She was playing? She got you into it?
She told me the basics of the game, and she let me win, actually. This is a funny story. So when we first played, I found a deck of cards. I'm a huge football fan, so we went to a Jets game.
Jets fan?
Yeah, I'm a Jets fan, yeah. So 3.5, 4 years ago, we went to a Jets game. We went back to her place afterwards. I went into her kitchen, found a deck of cards. I said, hey babe, you know, we weren't doing anything. It was a Sunday night. I said, hey, can you teach me how to play poker? She said, sure. This is exactly, I think, 2013, beginning of 2013. Okay. She said, sure. So next thing you know, we were playing heads up. She actually flopped quads, but I had a king high, and she told me, babe, you won. And I said, really? and she said, yeah. She said, babe, you won. And then ever since then, I became hooked on this game. This is a true story. It really happened. I didn't realize until afterwards that she just did it just because she loved me at the time. But that thing was probably like the worst thing that she could have done because she created like a monster. I think
monster, but you love it. You're having fun. You're doing what you love. You travel, play cards. It's
a great.
Are you guys still friends?
We're still friends. We're obviously not dating anymore, but she actually hit me up because I had my first big tournament score 2 months ago. I scored second in the Goliath.
That's right. I wanted to ask you about that. You had a 6-figure score.
Right. My first 6-figure score. I scored 127,000, and she actually texted me the next morning. She said, I want 10%. I said, why? She said, you know why. I said, don't worry about it. When I get back to New York, I'll take you out to dinner and I'll take care of you.
Nice. That's awesome, man. That's funny. Awesome. All right. So, what would you say? Are more cash game or term? You say?
Oh, so here's the thing. A lot of you guys might know, the guys that follow me already on Instagram. A lot of my fans and my followers are telling me I should go back to cash because that's where I made my bread and butter.
Yeah.
I usually play 2-5 at Borgata, and whenever I go to Vegas, I play up to 25-50 no limit.
Okay.
I only play no limit. I stay away from PLO and the other games. But a lot of my fans have been telling me, hey, listen, I have a more consistent win rate at cash games. I should go back to what I know.
Right.
But you know, the tournaments, it's so addicting. That's the problem.
Well,
I think you can test that.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat that I know how it is. I'm primarily cash, but a lot of you guys know me. I do play tournaments, and they're fun. They're a way to keep score. There's like a challenge because cash games are great. That's also a lot of fun. But when you're in a tournament, you start with a certain chips. You get the end result. You can have your friends, family sweat. You get to kind of gauge how you're doing. It's just there's something about it you can't really explain. Getting chips, keeping a tournament, is an ultimate feeling. So I'm with you, man. And we've been talking just now a little bit about some tournament stuff and what's coming up. So we'll be going to the bicycle and playing the main event there.
Yes. In 2 weeks, I'll be traveling to the Bicycle Casino in LA. I'm going to be playing a couple tournaments, but primarily the $4,000 Legends of Poker WPT main event over there. And so we'll see what happens, you know, but I love this lifestyle, you know, even though I work full time, you know, I'm partners at a finance company back in New York, so that's how I'm able to, you know, support myself.
That's what I was going to ask, because I knew you did something else within that world. How would you say your time is split between work and poker?
Over the last 3 months, I think it's more like a 90-10 where I dedicate 90% of my time on poker, but it's just summer right now, so I have the luxury of being able to take off from work. But when September rolls around, I'm gonna have to dedicate more time towards poker. Towards work. So that's why I'm trying to take advantage of this opportunity right now. That's why I'm trying to travel. I'm down here in Fort Lauderdale right now. Got to meet you today. It's a pleasure. I know we were talking for a couple months back and forth, and you know it's great because you get to meet a lot of people in this poker world, and it's a small world, but I love it.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
And I will say I took notice of this man's Instagram account. Very entertaining, very engaging. He sort of tells. Sort of like, you know, how we do on YouTube with a storyline, an event and stuff, but like he literally, he'll show you buying in, he'll show you how it works, he'll show you chip stacks, hands, results. It's very interesting because it's not just like I'm in this tournament, it's a documentation of how it goes, the ups, the downs, and that's a cool part, you know, showing real emotion and showing the good and the bad and the reality of how you can be as a playing poker. And
today's date is, so it's August 13th, but you guys will see when I post something later today. I'm going to show you the reality of the downside of poker. I'm going to show you how much I lost this weekend. So you guys will see. It's not just all roses.
Yeah, glitz and glamour, all like positive, good. Because honestly, it was interesting for me this summer. I was just telling Adnan that was my first losing summer. And it's kind of funny because like when I started like saying, all right, I'm going to document my whole summer, like the back of my mind, I was thinking like, you know, it could be kind of, it's tough when you go and you go play a tournament and it's like, oh, I come home and I knocked out. Oh, I'm in cash.
Right.
Oh, things didn't go well. Oh, I took a bad, like, you know, I don't want to say, oh, I got unlucky or whatever. It's just kind of like, it's raw when you're like feeling that emotion because it does stink when it happens like that. When you're not 100%. Crushing, you know, it's one thing to be chip leader, to go a deep run, make a final table, win a bracelet, you know, Doug Polk it, hit that one drop off while you're vlogging it. I mean, you know, it doesn't always work like that. Negron, you also had a successful summer doing it. It's possible, and I don't really, that's what I want to not say, oh, I'm vlogging or it's like distracting, but there's definitely a component of, you know, being on your phone, putting in notes, talking about your stuff. You're already keeping up with your real life. You got stuff going on. You know, I'm married. I don't know. You have friends, family. You're keeping in touch with them. If you're posting hands, you're doing stuff. You're also losing a little bit of focus, clarity from that. So there's a little give and take, and it's kind of balancing that. And I'm not here to blame. I'm not saying, oh, because I'm doing this, maybe I'm playing worse. But it's just a reality that's going to happen generally. But again, it doesn't control the run out of cards. the setups, the coolers, how you're running. You know, you want to try to be balanced and not let that mentally affect you. Just kind of accept if you are posting or documenting, that's going to take a little bit of away of your edge, most likely. So
listen, Jeff, you nailed it 100%. That's exactly the way it is. And one of the things I wanted to ask you, this is actually for fans out there. The same question is repeated to me over and over from a lot of the fans. You know, how can they pick up poker? How can they improve the game? Like, what would you recommend to the average, person who's interested in poker that really wants to take a liking to this and take it more seriously? Like, what would you recommend? How should they approach it?
What would they do to like the game more?
Yeah, should they start reading more books? Should they start watching videos on YouTube?
It's a great question.
I'll follow you, obviously. That's the first step.
Well, I mean, we're so I would say with how you do your content, how I do mine, it's also, I'm gonna get more into it, but it's more about kind of showing the experience and the journey. I don't mind talking about hands, breaking them down. I think that's good, but you know, if you want to get better, watch Twitch. There's so many talented streamers. I mean, I can name a lot off the top of my head, but find one of your favorite players. They probably stream on Twitch. You can go back and even watch past broadcasts, watch YouTube videos. There's all kinds of training sites. I got one listed in this YouTube video. I'll show you what kind of stuff I do to work on my game, but there's a lot you can do to work on your game. Even the best players, the Fedor Holds, the Dan Colemans, these guys you see in these sick heaters and runs that are doing well, like I can promise you, Nick Petrovelt, they're working their game. They're talking hands, they're researching, they're looking. It's not just like, oh, I'm crushing like whatever. No, it's like daily. Talk about hands, find a hand a day, find a spot of a hand. Like even today, I have like 4 hands. They're like, I play poker all the time. I like to think I'm an expert tournament player. There's hands where I was like, man, like I should have probably done this differently. I'll go talk to Brian Rast, I'll talk to other guys, Dan Coleman, people bounce hands off of, Matt Waxman. It doesn't matter, like talk to other good players, and it may be like something they just, you know, hearing how they, if it's like, oh, that is a tough spot, or like, yeah, I would do this. You know, that kind of stuff can give you, because maybe your instincts were saying something, you did something different, and you're getting reaffirmed. So I'd say that's the best way to get better, is talk with players that you feel are better than you.
So would you recommend building like a little poker network or a poker circle?
Find a group, find a Discord chat, find a 2+2 forum, find people you know. I mean, probably there's some player that will be willing to spend some time and talk to you about a couple hands or a couple tricks they have. So I think that's the best way, but there's so much content, so much info out there. You know, YouTube videos can be fun, but a lot of times it's not so much, like even if you're watching poker on TV, it's not like you're really necessarily getting like in-depth strategy. So like that would be more for an entertainment side of it, but I think Twitch is great, and you know, it's just some poker strategy sites, which I can list a few and I'll talk to you about as well. They're out there. There's plenty of options. So
that's good to know. And how much time do you think you put in studying the game when you're not on the field?
A fair amount now in the last year, but not enough before, because I think that's what we find. People that are playing, especially online, you're grinding, you play 6, 8, 10 hours, you know, it's kind of it's kind of tough. Like you're just sort of it's like, do I really want to go play 8 hours and do 2? Or if you want to do the best, like if you want to get better, yeah, you got to find some time to study, because it's not fun. And it's just like, especially I know you're busy. Like so now, like throwing in like, but there is stuff you can do to get better, and there's always a way to improve and learn, no matter how good or how.
That's good advice, guys. Listen to this guy. He knows what he's doing. I actually like. So the way I look at things when I play poker is there's certain people that I respect, you know, and obviously numbers speak. We look at someone's handle out, we look at someone's performances. If they're able to repeat it over and over, you know, like that, they vouch for themselves, man, and that states everything. So like when Jeff and I started speaking a couple months ago, you know, I automatically started respecting him. I actually asked him a couple of questions, believe it or not. I actually DM'd him and asked him, hey, listen, this is a hand I played back. I don't know if you remember. I asked you about this one particular hand. At the WPT, we're at, you know, we're playing for $900,000. It was like 30 people left, and I pretty much I fumbled it. And then I asked Jeff, you know, did I do the right thing here? And then, you know, Jeff kind of like broke down the hand for me. I think that's what you need to do. You need to always study your hands and see how you can always improve. And, you know, like, you know, the Michael Jordans of the world, you know, the way they got to that level is they constantly improve and always, you know, study their game. And I think that's what you have to do in poker. It's a game that, you know, like, I think, what's the infamous quote? It takes like a couple minutes to learn, but it takes like a lifetime to master.
Oh, for sure. I mean, listen, like, you have to be honest with yourself. It's fun, and that's what I like about Twitch, because like you're on blast on a replay. Like
you must get trolls.
Oh yeah,
you know? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, it's all good. You know, I saw you called. My my buddy. There's Gal. He's been on the vlog a few times. He just called us. So now he knows I wasn't screening. You know, at least he sees me doing the video. So I was at a final table of PokerStars phase, $1 million to first, $1,000 buy-in. This was last month in May, late for scoops.
Okay.
And there was a hand, you know, where I got in a weird spot. I ended up losing the pot. I ended up taking 8th place. The video's going out actually today. It's from May. It took a long time to go through hands, and like it's a 40-minute video, which is that kind of way you can kind of learn and look at people playing those type of things. But you know, like the same thing. Like I was at $1 million from a $1,000 buy-in, and I think I butchered a hand kind of, and I knew it was close, but like, you know, I took jacks in a spot, which one of the hands are tough to play, and it was normally on guy raised on the gun. I 3-bet instead of flatting, which I normally would flat. I got like min 4-bet. Kind of thought the guy had ace king, put me in an ICM disaster, and then the board came, you know, 8 high. He checked. I gave a free card at that point, like stack the pot ratio. Like I just got a man up. If he has me trapped, I just don't want to give free cards. I check, turn ace. He checks. I check river. He piles me, and you could actually see the replay because it was a final table. He had ace king. So I mean, the guy raised on the gun and folded had queens. So if I just flatted, it would have gone. I mean, not to be results oriented, but it's just like on my position's not so good. There's huge ICM implications. It's a flat and then evaluate. So I end up like losing a pretty big pot there and end up coming 8 for 80 grand off 1,000. But like, you know, that hand was worth a couple $100 grand. Like, and again, like, yeah, maybe he doesn't turn the ace. Maybe I flop a set of jacks. Maybe whatever. But I should have flatted pre really, or shoved the flop. I had like 2 spots where I could have played my hand differently, and you know, that's the point of this is there may be a spot where you have a hand that you think is a trivial thing that like, oh well, it's like, you know, jacks or ace king and it sort of plays itself, or there's like, but like, you know what, these matter, and if you take the time to get it, you're gonna get these spots again, and maybe it's not with equity, but like, you know, I had to sleep on that. I had 21,000 people watching me play live, and had to kind of like,
that's impressive,
and eat that. Like it was sort of like, you know, and then you're on blast. You're just sort of there, like everyone's watching you. It's like, oh, like maybe not that they necessarily know what the expert play is, but like, you know, like I would have done that differently. And I kind of. So my point is, there's always a way to learn. There's always a way to review, and yeah. We'll keep getting better. That's the plan. So we'll be in touch with you, and you may even have some action up in the future, possibly. So check his Instagram. He'll get you some more details on how you can maybe get a piece. As always, we have a piece on Stake Kings. We put up 10% live or online, everything we play, so you guys can sweat along. And we'll be checking more with Adnan and staying in touch with him. And then, oh, most importantly, we didn't even say it. I follow him on Twitter, on Instagram. You could find it online, but how can it, it's NYPokerKing?
NYPokerKing. I use Instagram primarily. I started using Twitter recently, but all my actions on Instagram. Check it out. You can also follow Jeff, or obviously you guys know who he is already.
Yeah, we do it on Instagram. NYPokerKing. Check him out. Very exciting poker content. Really is one of the better follows for poker and overall. And check it out. So we'll be following up with him. Best of luck to you, my friend, and we will see you at the next stop.
Appreciate it, guys.
Later.